My mom, I wasn't comfortable talking about her for a long time. I would actually say she's dead. But right now, I've accepted my life and I'm at a better space so I can talk about my mom. My mom is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. You can tell from how I look. I look like my mom. So, and she got me when she was about 17. So she was very young. And I totally understand that she wasn't ready to have a kid. And so she left me with my grandparents when I was 3 months. And when she left, I actually grew up thinking my grandparents or my parents until the time she came. I used to call her big sister. But then I was told, this is your mom. And of course, there was all this. I can't accept, like, this is my mom. The biggest concern my mom had was my hand. She had a big concern about my hand because she was like, I gave birth to a normal baby. What happened? She was like, your baby got an accident. So she would take me to the hospital. Like, she was one person who didn't feel okay with my hand. I talked to some clients like, okay, I'm very confident and I thank God for that. I would ask them for loans. Imagine you ordered a suit and then this girl reaches out to you asking for a loan. Yeah. So that I could now maybe buy a machine and stuff. Yeah. And some clients believed in me. I'm still actually paying some loans from then. But it was, and then COVID.
Let's talk COVID.
The business almost shut down. I'm a product of the community. I'm not a product of my parents. I'm a product of my community because the community raised me. You know, I would meet people, they are kind. You know, someone helps me with this, someone helps me with clothes, someone helps me with shoes. And up to now, I've been raised by a community. So I feel like I have the responsibility to be faithful and support that community and help them and inspire them and tell them it can be done.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Inspire Kenya. Now, my guest has conquered a lot to be where she is today, despite having been abandoned by her own mother when she was 3 months, to being raised by her grandpa who worked as a security man to be able to finance their needs. She says she is a community child and she is grateful to everyone who has played a role to make sure she gets here, including the owner of the building that we are filming from today. She has been bullied, but today she dresses even the prominent people in this country, and I cannot wait for you to listen to her story. Wewe. Take 2.
This is the work that we do. We custom make suits, African wear and casual wear. So if you want to make an order for any tailor-made outfit, please contact me and us. My name is Brightstar Kasyoka. Yeah. I am 22 years old. I am a graduate from Maseno University with a degree in political science.
God's a political science.
Your future president.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. While in Maseno, I served as the elected finance secretary. Okay. Currently, I'm a business owner. I have 2 business, Star Tailor Designs,
yes,
like Star Tailor Designs and Urban Suave Sartorial.
You are 22?
I'm 22.
With 2 businesses
with
already?
With 2 businesses. So one is like a sole proprietorship, it's just me. I run it independently.
Yes.
But the other one is a partnership. Okay. So Star Tailor Designs deal with custom-made outfits, like the one I'm wearing. It's tailored by us.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful. And I was like, God, you look so good.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm also a recipient of several awards.
Yes.
Leadership awards. I'll mention them maybe later.
Yeah.
But I've been a student leader and I've done several things for the community.
Okay.
So it got me awarded.
It got you awarded. You know, I was like, what captivated me to even want to share your story on this category of Inspire Kenya? It's because you inspired me myself.
I'm humbled.
Yeah, and then I dug deep and I found out that your journey, it's not even as easy. Most people would not come out of where you've been. Yeah. So able to take us through your journey. Okay,
Lynn, I was born in Wingu, Kitui County, to a very beautiful young mom. But I was raised by my grandparents since I was 3 months. My mom couldn't raise me for several reasons. Yeah. And so I'm a grandparent's baby. My grandfather is now very old with my grandmother. Those are the people who raised me. My grandfather was a watchman. He had to work as a watchman so that he could raise funds to take me to school. And I was lucky when I was 2 years, almost 2 years, I had an accident. Yes. And it left my right hand with a problem. And so I was put in school very young so that I could learn to write with my left hand. But luckily I was a bright child. So I went to school at a very early age. That's why you can see at 22 I've graduated. Yes. Primary life was not that easy. It was hard because now watchman is being paid 3,000 shillings, so it's not enough to cater for everything. But I was always position 1 throughout.
In school?
In school.
Come on now.
So I had a lot of kids make fun of me about my hand. They would call me Kaloko. Kaloko in Kamba is Kamkono, you know, like a small hand, because my hand was always like this.
Yeah.
But then after that, I was like, I'm going to work very hard and be very successful. No one is ever going to see my hand. And that's what happened. So in high school, I got scholarship. I just called several schools. I called so many schools and most didn't even pick. But one of them picked, and then I went to visit them.
You called?
I called. I would go to the library, get newspapers and get their numbers and go borrow a phone and call. I'm like, my name is Brightstar and I want a scholarship. Most of them will be like, I don't have a scholarship. But one particular secretary told me, come visit us. When I went visiting in Dika, I was by myself and I had my transcripts. I met the directors. Luckily, they had come, the lady had come to that school that day.
Yeah.
And she's like, this kid is alone. She's very inspiring. Like, how can she come all the way along? Just come on Tuesday.
Where were you coming from? So
Wingu.
So from Wingu to Thika,
Yes.
you went by yourself?
I went by myself.
Oh, yeah.
My grandfather got me 500 shillings, and the driver who I came with was very kind. He allowed me to come without paying, so at least I had some money. And then the director said, come on Tuesday. This was on a Saturday. Come on Tuesday with one of your grandparents. I went with my grandfather on Tuesday, and I was taken to the dormitory, and that's how I got a full scholarship. So, and my grandfather went home, and yeah, that's how my life changed. In high school, it was a rich kid school, and I started now feeling out of place. I started being aware of myself. I was like, I have a problem actually. I didn't know I had a problem, but now I was like, so I got depressed. I started getting depressed, hiding, and for the first time in life, I lost my position 1 in Form 2. I went to position 2, then 3, and by the time I was finishing high school, I was an emotional mess. But I had families. Whenever I would give speeches, I was a very bright kid, so I would give speeches, poems. My first poem, actually, it was a Kiswahili shairi. It was published in Taifa Leo when I was in class 8. I can brag. I can brag. Yes. And then I was an emotional mess, but a lot of families would always invite me and stay with me.
For those of you who have been following us for a while, you know how I feel about growth and self-motivation. You always need to seize the opportunity and learn beyond your current capabilities. Even when you look at some of our previous guests at Inspire Kenya, whether we are talking about Njiru Mkombozi, the man who has built an entire city, or Dan, the guy who scored a D-, was employed, bought the business from the employer, and is now operating 7 businesses, you can tell they all built these businesses from scratch, and they are making a living from it, and they are incredibly driven individuals. And that's why when Wingu Digital Training offered to sponsor this episode, it was so easy to say yes to this partnership. Their online coaching programs offer a way to learn skills that will help you earn online while working from home, which is really valuable, especially given these times. You can either earn a full-time income or an extra income to complement your salary. You know, guys, it always pays to invest in yourself, and Wingu's premium training offers you 4 incredible high-quality courses. That is professional article writing, data entry, transcription plus captioning, and affiliate marketing and SEO training. Their courses are designed to fully equip you with the skills you need to consistently make money online, and they are tailor-made to fit the Kenyan market. And now, if you want to learn more about Wingu Digital Training and making money online, sign up to their free webinar training. The links are in the description. Please enroll and start your journey to successfully making money online. Bye. Ask you something.
Yes.
When you say you were an emotional mess, what do you mean?
I mean, I was very depressed. I didn't believe in myself. I had lost my position 1 in school. I was just depressed, and I would even lie to people from home that I'm okay, because I didn't want them to know that I'm not okay. And especially my grandfather, given that he was working so hard, it would have broken him to know that his baby was not okay in school. And so I would isolate myself and cry. Sometimes I would not even shower. Like I was just this emotional mess baby. And I didn't even know that I was going to pass and go to university. So I thought I was going to become a musician. And so after high school, I called several families as well. I think I didn't want to stay in the same problems that I was raised in. I called and I was calling them, telling them, please pay for me to go to a music school. And one senator, he was a senator then, he picked. And then he invited me over and he paid my campus for me to join campus, because now the results were out and I had passed. So I joined Maseno with a degree in political science now. That's how I ended up in Maseno.
All right. Is your mom something you're comfortable talking about? Because how did you end up being brought up by your grandpa, your grandparents, and where is your dad too?
My mom, I wasn't comfortable talking about her for a long time. I would actually say she's dead. But right now, I've accepted my life and I'm at a better space, so I can talk about my mom. My mom is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. You can tell from how I look. I look like my mom. So, and she got me when she was about 17. So she was very young. And I totally understand that she wasn't ready to have a kid. And so she left me with my grandparents when I was 3 months. And when she left, I actually grew up thinking my grandparents or my parents until the time she came. I used to call her big sister. But then I was told, this is your mom. And of course, there was all this. I can't accept, like, this is my mom. The biggest concern my mom had was my hand. She had a big concern about my hand because she was like, I gave birth to a normal baby. What happened? She was like, your baby got an accident. So she would take me to the hospital. Like, she was one person who didn't feel okay with my hand. And I understand. I mean, she gave birth to a normal baby. And so there was that clash between me and her, because all the time she would always talk about my hand. I don't talk about her that much because I don't want to put her in the public in the wrong. And then I find out she was going through pain. So, so I understand my mom had a lot of pain. And we don't have a personal relationship. None at all. We've never heard any. Even if she wants to talk to me, maybe she can talk to my grandma. I've been trying to reach out to her, to talk to her, but I don't think we're still at that space. So I think with time, maybe we can involve therapy.
You'll get there with time.
But Lynn, how God works, when I moved, right now I stay by myself. In my house, I've hosted about 5 girls who are pregnant. And until they give birth. It made me realize how hard it is to have a kid when you're young. Because your boyfriend will leave you, your parents don't want anything to do with you. So these girls actually showed me what my mom might have been going through. And my grandfather is very strict, remember. So I realized my mom might have been going through a lot of pain, and that's why she didn't want me. So God used these girls who were coming to my house for me to know that childbirth is not that easy. And right now I forgive her. I forgive her and I love her. And I mean, I can't wait to be best friends with her one day.
Oh, look at you. You know, you said something important. Sometimes we are quick to judge. You want to say this person did, and I'm not making any excuse for someone leaving or someone leaving their kids, but I've also come to learn that they also have their side of the story.
They do.
And you know, you want to arrive at that neutral ground where you also get to listen to their side of the story. And I love that you are finding it in your heart to want to make amends and move forward. So that's really bright of you.
When I see TikTok videos of 3 generations, I'm always like, the day I'll reconcile with my mom, I'm going to do a 3 generation, me, her, and my grandma, because she's very pretty. I would want to show my mom to the world, but we've not reached that point. My dad, I don't know my dad. I've never met my dad. She never told me who he was, and so I hope he's not somewhere suffering and I'm here helping the world. I hope to meet him as well. I think I'm at a space where I've accepted my life and forgiven, and right now, even if I met any of them, I will be ready to take them and take them back and take care of them. All right. Yeah.
Good. So let me ask, here where we are, how did you end up here?
In this home?
Yes.
I was giving a speech in high school, and the lady was one of the parents, the guests, and she really fell in love with me. She said, in my speech, I mentioned my grandfather. I said, I'm thanking my grandfather in absentia, my grandma. My grandfather has been a watchman just to see me through school, so I'm very grateful to them. Then she called me and she said, how can you mention your grandfather in this kind of space? That means you're very humble. I want to be your mother. And so she gave me her number and she gave me 5,000 that day.
What?
Yeah, she gave me 5,000, and that was my first 5,000 I think in life to have it on my hand. And I went back to Wingu, and she kept on. I would now borrow phones and call her. We say hi to each other, and so she she became very interested in my life. She paid for me computer packages because at that time I was now very low. She paid for me computer packages. I did. And then she bought me a phone. She sent me some money to buy a phone because I didn't have a phone.
Someone you only met once?
I only met once. And even in high school, I had lost books. And I was using a matatu to go to school. And then all the books were left in the bus. And you can't graduate from high school without paying. She paid. So I got my certificate from high school. And so when I moved to that family that I lived with in the first semester when I was in campus, she was in touch with me. And so after I moved from that family, I was supposed to go to Wingu, and then she sent their driver to meet me all the way. And she was like, come say hi to me. When I came here, she was like, this is your home. And so I lived with her since the whole of campus. She's the lady who helped me. She's the lady who loved me because I was very broken. So she started telling me about God. She would read for me the Bible. I was always a God child. Like I was always very, I would go to church, read the Bible. But that moment when I was depressed, I stopped. I stopped reading the Bible. So she would read for me. I would go out there, then someone says something rude about my hand. I come home, I cry, and I lock my door. And she would knock and tell me, Bryce, you have to come out. She told me, God loves you. God got you from the village. I am your mom. You don't have to listen to what people say. If you watch all my videos, all my photos, I never used to show my hand. I would always take photos like this. And people think I'm being stylish. I do this. People think I'm being stylish. I do this. People think I'm being stylish. But I'm hiding my hand. So it should always be, get your hand out. It's like a poison. If you don't get it out, you'll always be hurt. And it's not until I got it out, that's the time I realized I had overcome people who would make fun of it. Because the moment I'm out, you have nothing to attack. And that lady loved me.
The moment you're out,
yeah,
people have nothing to attack.
No. Even if you have a wild past or you have anything that you've ever done wrongly in the past, if you hide it, people use it against you. Good. But the moment you come out and you own, this is my story,
there's nothing else they can
say. Have nothing against you. So I got courage and I was like, now I show it and I'm okay.
So what are some of the things people would say about your hand?
There were many. Some would say you should have, actually a family member told me I should have died instead of becoming disabled. Others will tell me no one will ever want to marry me. Others will tell me, how can a girl be like this? So, and it made me, even relationship-wise, I never got into relationships because I felt no one would accept me. And so I worked so hard so that I could prove these people wrong. But I never got kind words about it. Of course, there's some people who are understanding. And then the stares. I think I can tell people if someone has an issue, don't stare. It makes them very uncomfortable. So I would get all these stares and
like people will be like this on your hand.
They just, yeah, even right now, if I'm walking and I'm in a short sleeve, you see just someone staring. But right now I'm okay with it because I've accepted it. But that time I wasn't okay. It will trigger me to break down. Yeah.
Wow. At what point did you become comfortable with your hand, and also how did you arrive to being this young business person that we are looking at right now?
After graduation, I participated in a program. It was called Miss President.
Okay.
It was a reality show that was supposed to support women come into leadership. And I was the youngest participant out of the 1,000 plus applications. I made it to top 18. While at Miss President, there's a lady who told me, bring it out. So I decided now I'm bringing it out. And I knew I was going to win Miss President. I am very confident with myself. And so I brought it out knowing that the Kenyans will celebrate me when I win Miss President. And I got eliminated. And my hand is all out there. And I'm like, no, I didn't win how I thought I was going to win. So I became very bitter. And then I got depressed again. Because now after the show started airing live, people started calling me. I didn't know your hand was like that. Remember, I had hidden my hand all my life. So I didn't know your hand was like that. I didn't know your hand was like that. I'm like, no, don't ask me about it. I'm going through a very tough period. Of course, I'm not telling them, I'm telling myself. And so I stayed in my house for like 2 to 3 months. I wasn't getting out. I would just cry. Thank God my mom had given me some money, so I had some food. But I just stayed in the house. Before I went to Miss President, I was supposed to start a business with my friend. But then I went to Miss President, so he went along and started the business. And one day, I just woke up and I was like, I can't keep on crying. I mean, I've been a bright star. I've been an inspiration throughout. I was always an inspiration even in campus. But I was letting myself now break down and not go on and do the things, the great things. I always knew I was going to do great things. And I walked to my friend's office. That time he had office. And I told him this. I'm at my lowest moment. I mean, I got an internship in a media house. I wanted to be a media personality.
Oh, yeah?
And then I stopped going because why? They eat in a public space. So I feel people are staring at my hand. But it is some of these things are in your mind. People might not even be staring at your hand. But if it's what you are thinking at, you will now think they are staring at me. So I was like, I just need something to do. And so he was like, he guided me. I opened a page that day, I posted, and I got 2 clients. As to my followers, they came and they measured some suits. It's like, so I can get money. So I started it as a way of dealing with my brokenness. It was not something that I planned. I wasn't passionate about suits. I would wear crop tops for her matter. So if you watch my photos, I used to have crop tops. So I used to think I'd be this musician who wears crop tops. But then the more I did it, the more I did the selling.
Yes.
Clients accepted me. And in that space, no one is asking you about your hand. They just care about what you're selling.
Yeah.
So it was a very comfortable situation to be in. And I met so many people who were very supportive of what I was doing, and they would buy for me when I was not wearing a suit. So with time, I did a suit for a client, and he posted my story.
Yeah, who is this person?
He is called Benjamin Zulu.
Oh, Zulu.
Yes.
Yeah, a nice guy.
He is a nice guy, and he came at the time when I was 21. I was thinking of getting a relationship. He said we wait until we are 25. So I think he was God sent, because maybe I would have gotten in a relationship and the world would have never heard of my name,
Yeah.
So Zulu posted my story in his page. He was like, I'm very inspired and I'm doing suits, and even posted my number. That's how the media picked my story. I got contacted by NTV, I got contacted by other print media, and even magazines.
Yes.
And that's how my story now got here. This was last year.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to go all out. I was just accepting my hand, actually. But then I was lost in the public space. And my story became so big, and I didn't know why it was becoming a big deal. So this one interviews me, I get other interviews. And that's now I started growing. And I think it gave me a lot of confidence that people were finding inspiration in what I do. So I even started a Facebook page where I do poetry.
Yes.
I did one first video, it was called Good Enough.
Yeah.
You're good enough. And that Good Enough video got 700,000 views.
Hey, can you good enough it for us?
No, I was just telling people when I was 6 years, when I was 8 years, people told me this and this. Like how people told me bad words.
Yeah.
But right now, I want to tell you that you are good enough. It doesn't matter what people said about you. It doesn't matter your story, your past. You are good enough, and I am good enough. And what matters is what God thinks about us.
Yes.
When I was 6 years old, a boy sitting next to me in class told me, with that kind of hand, you're never gonna be enough. So now I found myself being a little celeb. Not really a celeb, but people are celebrating what I do. I can do talks, so sometimes once in a while I do talks. Yeah. And I think with time I'll do it fully now.
Good.
But that's how my story got all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Business now. There's that part about everyone is vouching for you, they are supporting your business, and then there's this hard reality. Now I have to start earning a living from this. How was it like for you?
It wasn't, you see, when you start a business without any investment, it's very hard. So I would actually download photos from social media, and then I post them. And I tell people I can do this for you. And I think it's how you present yourself. And people do. Like, I can download a photo of this and post it, and then I do that for a client. Then I can use that client's photo to post next time. So it wasn't like I had anything. It was just downloading photos.
You had no investment?
Nothing. It was just download photos, you post them, then people, they come, and then you
so
do
you
the same thing.
So you started your business with zero capital? With zero capital. Just a good name in zero capital.
I didn't have a name. I started even the page with 0 followers. Oh. But at least I had followers for my page. Yes. About 4,000 friends. That's so amazing. Now I would share. Yeah. They would share. Yeah. And when I started, I didn't think it was going to be a big thing. I didn't think I was going to do it. I was like, I'm not passionate about it. So I was doing it for the time being. And then I go back to media. But then see how God worked. Things just... and then now here I am. So I talked to some clients like, okay, I'm very confident and I thank God for that. I would ask them for loans. Imagine you came, you ordered a suit, and then this girl reaches out to you asking for a loan. Yeah. So that I could now maybe buy a machine and stuff. Yeah. And some clients believed in me. I'm still actually paying some loans from then, but it was, and then COVID.
Let's talk COVID.
The business almost shut down. I got in loans from friends. I mean, every close friends of mine has sent me some money. From clients, I call clients, I'm like, please buy a suit. I don't have rent. They sent 10,000, like, I don't need a suit right now, but gather. It was just, I think I thank God because I'm very outgoing and I try. But if I didn't try throughout COVID, trust you me, we would have shut down. We wouldn't be there. Because now you find you're not selling. But then you have to pay rent. Yeah. And then you see if you shut down and you go home so that you stop paying rent, you will have to start again with deposit and stuff. So it was, and then I have all these tailors. I don't want them to go home and then they have families.
Yeah, how many tailors do you have?
I have 9 employees.
You have what?
9 employees. For
real?
Yeah. Okay. You go see them in the workshop.
Yeah, we're going. You have 9 employees.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a matter, and then we did masks. We started looking for masks. We
Yes.
started doing masks for people. Then we got a project to do masks. Again, for you to do masks, you have to have, you first do it and then the corporate pays you. So we didn't have our money. We got into loans again from friends' cars, and then by the time you're delivering, your profit is gone because you're paying loans in interest. So COVID was very hard to survive, but I thank God that we didn't close, that we're here. And for the clients and people who believed in me and kept on sending money even when I was disturbing them, then I'm grateful. I actually have one, he's called John, that one I mentioned, him and his family. They are the people who held me. They didn't give up on me. I would call them and disturb them. I'm like, please buy a suit. Sometimes they just give me some cash. They'll be, pay your debts, because they knew I was in debt.
Yes.
They pay rent. Don't close, don't close. They are business people. And I'm grateful that they did that, because I would have closed. I'm here inspiring people in social media with my videos, and they are sharing them, but I'm actually very broke and I'm very frustrated because the business is almost closing down. That's what actually triggered me to do. There's a video I did, it's called Dear Mr. President. Addressing the president like the shutdown is killing us, because now I was one of the people who was closing down. My video of Dear Mr. President got so many shares and views, but he never responded to me, and I'm very sad.
But you were still broke.
I was very broke. So I felt if he uplifted the lockdown, at least clients will come. But that's it.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm very fine.
You okay?
I'm okay.
Nice to meet. Hi. You make my lady suit. Yeah. Unafanya kazi vizuri? Hiyo ni poa.
What do you love most about your business?
I love the fact that I get to interact with different people, people from all walks of life. And you know, the more you interact with people, the more you grow. I love that I get to make people satisfied. When someone sees, you know, sometimes I might see, I've told you I used to download photos. So someone might see this downloaded photo, and they're like, are you sure you can pull this? And then I pull it, and you see the smile on their face. They're like, I'll be buying tailored outfits. It makes me feel so happy to just make someone look good. And then with someone who has struggled with self-esteem and image, I know how important it is to look good. Whenever I'm wearing a suit like this or I'm wearing an outfit, I feel very confident.
Yes.
So I love making people feel confident.
Yeah, because you're inspiring me right now. I'm like, who is this girl? You are so inspirational. What would you say? What keeps you going?
My grandparents.
Oh.
When I was a small girl, my grandfather and me were not close because he felt I would grow up and become pregnant like my mom. And my mom was his last born, so he was very disappointed when she became pregnant with me. But I turned to be his blessing anyway. So I want to put a smile on my grandfather's face. I know he's very old. He's tried to educate kids. None of them made him proud. So how about I be that person who makes him proud? So it makes me work so hard because I want to give him the lifestyle that he's never had. I mean, for my watchman, right now he doesn't work. I retired him. So I send money for food and everything. So I take care of them fully.
Oh, you take care of them fully?
Fully.
Yes.
So I would want to fly them with planes, you know, take them for trips and take care of them because they deserve it.
Yeah.
And they sacrifice for me, so I should sacrifice for them.
Wow.
And then also I like inspiring young people because if people on my way didn't support me and inspire me, trust you, million, you wouldn't be talking to me. I'm a product of the community. I'm not a product of my parents. I'm a product of my community because the community raised me. You know, I would meet people, they are kind. You know, someone helps me with this, someone helps me with clothes, someone helps me with shoes. And up to now, I've been raised by a community. So I feel like I have the responsibility to be faithful and support that community and help them and inspire them and tell them it can be done. Also, I like inspiring young girls. It's okay to start from nowhere.
Look at you.
I live in a very small house. I live in a single room. But I'm very happy in my house with my cats. I have cats. So, I mean, I'm here sacrificing my life. I don't want to blow up. I mean, if I wanted to date people and have a big business, right now I'll be very famous because there are people in my inbox who are trying to date me. But I want to grow up a godly way. Like, and be that inspiration that it doesn't matter where you come from, you can be someone.
You can be someone.
Yeah.
Why was it important? Because I know where we are filming right now has a lot of attachment to you. Why was it important for us to conduct this interview here? When
you called me and you told me we can do the home setup, I knew it was very important to go to a place where it was quiet because personally, my house, you can. I don't have seats. I choose not to have seats because I don't like a congested space, and it's not a big house. So maybe you can film that for Kenyans next time. Yeah. And this home is where I was brought up throughout campus. So I was like, my mom supports what I do. When I was leaving this place, she told me, I've passed the mantle to you. I've prepared you. Go out and help the world. Me, myself, have never been famous, but I know you'll do a lot of great things and inspire the world.
Wow.
So go out and do that. So when you told me home, this is home. This is a place I grew up calling the home. And I knew she supports what I do. So I was like, let's come here.
You know, when she came down to say hello to me and director Edwin Ochieng, I was so humbled because she has this humbleness in her. When you look back, what are some of the things you've learned from her?
A lot. I think if I didn't live with, she's called Rose Nduta. If I didn't live with her, I wouldn't be the Bryce I am today. I wouldn't be positive. I was very bitter with life. And this lady came and God used her to mold me. So I learned first about God. God is everything. If you believe in God, then your life will always work. I learned faith. She's very prayerful and she has a lot of faith. She might not have money now, but she'll believe she'll get money in the next. Even when I was looking for my internship, I told her, let's call a few people. I know you can. She told me, you don't need to call anyone. So I had to go and take my papers, and I was picked to get my internship. And then she came and told you don't need anyone. You need God. So she has that faith that things work with God. And I picked that. And then she's very prayerful, and she helps people a lot. Even if someone calls her and she has 10,000, she will send all of it to that person. And she's like, Katoto, we have food. What else do we need? So this is a woman who I want to be. I mean, I know I have these famous women that I want to be, but this is a woman I want to be kind, help the community, inspire the world, and be a family person because she's a family person. So I've learned to be a home person through her. But I would be very bitter. Probably I would have never even got married in the future. I would have just been.
I can't.
And even forgiving my mom, she had a very big role to play in it.
You have forgiven your mom?
I've forgiven my mom. Because she kept on telling me, Katoto, let it go. I'm not your mom. God compensated you with another mom. And I would be like, Even in family functions, I would always hide because I didn't feel I belong here. But she would always come look for me, come, meet the family. And the family accepted me. So I learned acceptance in this home and love. And so I'm now already spreading the love and acceptance in the world because I was given it. But if I wasn't, you cannot give what you don't have. I didn't have love. She gave it to me.
Wow. Man, what are some of the key things you've learned about managing your own business?
I actually learned a lot from mistakes. When I was starting and when I was still very young, if I mess a client, I would switch off my phone and not pick the call. So I've learned managing a business is about managing people. It's not about the business itself. It's about people. How good can you make people feel? How satisfied can you make someone feel? It's always the clients. It's not their money that you're getting. It's the service you're giving to them. That's why if you give a client a very good service, they'll come back. But if you don't, they will leave and go on your place. So I had to learn to manage people. When someone comes, I don't treat them as a business person. I'm like, how are you? How's your day? At least they feel someone cares for them. So I learned, and then communication. It was, most of my clients would give me feedback, Bryce, please communicate, because I would always go missing when things don't work. So I've grown through it. I can't say I'm perfect where I am, but I think I'm at a better space right now. And the more I grow up, the more now I build the business, and the more I become more confident, and the more I'll be able to give a better service out here, and also improving the quality. So the clients give you feedback, then you improve on it. Teaching, the buttons have a problem. And that's how now I think what I can advise any young person who wants to join business, you don't have to have it all figured. Once you drive yourself in it, you will learn through the mistakes. Pick every mistake that you learn and move forward. Yeah, because I've made a lot of mistakes in the business, but that's what made me be now a successful business person. Yeah.
Who do you look up to?
Elon Musk.
All right.
I have always looked up to Obama and this one because I feel Obama didn't have a father. And he grew up to be a very responsible father. So actually, your background is not an excuse for you to turn out to be a very toxic person. You can always work on yourself and become a good person. So family-wise, it's Obama. Like, I love his family and Michelle. I'm like, I hope I can rise and have this beautiful family. And like Bryce, I didn't have a mom or a dad, but she rose and become a very powerful family person. But Elon Musk, business-wise, I'm like, I love his gust, his hard work. You know, he doesn't even have a degree, but he is here changing the world. You know, so it shows you don't actually need a degree. You don't need, you know, most of the time we make excuses for ourselves. We're like, I don't have this, so I can't do this. I don't have this, so I can't do this. But the people who are changing the world, actually, they didn't have much. They just learned, and then he doesn't know about space, but he's going to invest in space. He's going there. So I like how he tries things over and over. I love that.
Do it afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Just do it.
Even if you're afraid.
Even if you're afraid, just do it. You know, just do it. Where is Brightstar going next? Where are
I know after this interview I'm going to be a very famous person. So I'm going to be a celebrity and
I'm not allowed to float because that's what this show is all about. I always say, for me, my greatest fear has always been to host someone and have their lives remain the same. I always say, if this person comes on my show, I want to see them bloom. I want to see them prosper. I want to see them calling me and they are like, Lynn, you can't believe what's happening to me right now. So blow up,
After this interview, I'm blowing up. I'm getting deals from corporates to advertise for them.
Yes.
I would want to be in a billboard. in an advert.
Doing what in a billboard?
Advertising something.
Be clear. I tell people, be clear about your vision, because if someone is watching and they are looking for that specific thing, you're that person. What are we going to do in a billboard?
Advertising a product.
There we go. Yes.
And then I smile because I'm very pretty. I mean, I think my face should be in billboards and commercials. I think the world hasn't discovered me yet.
But you are gorgeous. You are so pretty. I think for me, it's the fact that I'm even able to sit across you and you get to inspire me. That's a big deal. That's a big deal for me. So I want you to go out and conquer the world. I want you to go and mess up. I want you to go and know that only through failure will we be able to get the greatest product we can have. So I want you to go and bloom. I want you to go and blossom. Exote. And just go and shoot.
Yeah, so and then I have this foundation. It's not that a big one. I just raised, I would always get funds from friends who believed in me, and then we helped kids.
Talk to me about the foundation.
Yeah, so when I was a student leader, I felt I needed to do something for the community. So I would just bring around my few friends, like 10, and then they would contribute to each, whatever they called. And then we would identify kids and then we support them. Maybe some need fees, some need schools, staff to go to school. And because I had been helped by people, it was my responsibility to do that. And then with time, people started noticing what I was doing. It was what actually made me win several awards. And then after I got depressed, I couldn't coordinate people. So I just had to do it by myself. Thank God when I started the business now, I was in a position to use some of my profits to help. I always believe it's not about what you have, it's your heart.
It's
so
what you
I
do
didn't
with
have
what
much.
you have.
Yeah, but I have some kids and old aged people. I'm very passionate about aged people that I support. And with time, I want to make it now a fully fledged thing where we can support more communities, because I feel some people always want to help, but they don't know how to help. So if you come with this clean organization, they can always support. And right now, I'm very focused about families on the streets. I think moving from my office every day to the place I take my bus, I've seen so many, and I'm like, these kids need to be monitored. Like, they need to be mentored, and I feel I can do better though. Give them food. Right now, I want to do jumpers. I can give them jumpers for free. So I would want to invest back in the community, because the community invested in me. So in the next few years, you'll see Brightstar helping a lot of people and grow in the business.
Let me know what I can do to support you. Just let me know, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll do great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any young person watching you right now, because right now you're this, confident person and you are looking forward to conquering the world, but at this particular point in Kenya, not so many young people feel this. Some are broken. I was actually having this very heated argument with Director Edwin Ocheng in the morning in the car. Like, I'm looking
He's an amazing person. I'm glad I met him.
I love that. I was telling him the rate of unemployment in Kenya right now, the gap between the poor and the rich is widening, and so many people are losing hope, and I don't even know what will happen to this place in a few years to come. So anyone watching you and they are demotivated, what would you like to tell them?
I would like to tell them that sometimes you go through a lot so that God prepares you for a very big destiny. When I was going through my problems, when I was depressed, I went to Kijabe. They said my hand could never be done. It depressed me so much, because as a kid I knew it was going to be done someday. So when I was going through all that pain and breaking in my house, that's how I started raising cats, because I felt I had no one. So I would just hold them, and I feel I have something. But I didn't know that God was actually preparing me for this moment. If I didn't go through, it was important I go through all those things. I break down so that I could accept myself. It was important I be alone in that house. I host girls so that I could love my mom. It was important I cry every day. I would wake up at 3 a.m. every day to cry. I'm just so bitter with life. But it was important to go through that so that when God's blessings come, I can accept them and be ready for them. So sometimes what I can tell them, if you're feeling demotivated or you're going through a lot of problems, look at the bright side of it. What is this problem teaching you? Actually, it's what I learned from my mom here. She is always like, if she has a headache, what is God telling me? If she is, imagine, there's a day someone threw a stone in her car.
Yeah.
There was a riot in Nairobi University. That time I was in school. You know, she sent me money. She was like, you know, Katoto, the police were throwing tear gas, and then realized these students are just hungry and have not sent you money. So I think if you shift your mental state.
The mindset.
It's a mindset. We always read those things, but we don't know, but that's the truth. It's a mindset.
Yeah.
So they can work on your mind to know that today I might be suffering, but tomorrow I'll be inspiring the world. And I'll be very successful. If you do it like that, you're going to go very far. Because every successful person, even Elon Musk, Richard Branson, all these people, business people I look up to, they are going through something. You might not just see it, but they choose to focus on the positive side. So I would advise them to look at the positives. And to look and know that someday everything will fall into place.
I don't want this. This is the one interview that I felt like I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end. But before we close and we get to know where people can find you and share your social media handle, what are you most proud of? No, actually, before you answer that, what would you consider to be the lowest moment of your life, and how did you get through it?
I think the lowest moment of my life was my graduation. I was by myself. No one came. And I cried. No, they told me they should come, but imagine they're coming from Wingu to Kisumu and it's full. They will not even see the graduation. So I told them, no, don't come. And it would have been a lot of expenses at time. And as I no, it's okay. So I didn't know. I thought I was confident because I've received a lot of awards. I've always been alone in events by myself. But that day I saw everyone with their family and I broke down. I cried. If you see my graduation photo, I have puffy eyes. And that was my lowest moment. And that's why even after I went to Miss President, I broke down, because I had broken down during my graduation and I now started feeling so alone. But it was that moment that made me accept Brightstar, because now I had to go hiding. I had to feel I'm not good enough. I had to feel all those things. So that I can now heal from my childhood. I had a lot of trauma. But that was my lowest moment. But right now, looking back at it, the world will now celebrate my next graduation, you know. so it's okay. Yeah, but now I healed through it by staying indoors and now starting the business. One thing I've learned, when you're starting to make money, even if it's 100 by yourself, you get so much confidence. So please don't depend on people's money.
Don't depend on
then
people's
if it's
money.
100 shillings, trust you me, you'll be very confident. So it helped me now raise to the business.
What are you most proud of?
So many things that got me off guard.
One. Okay, two.
My business.
Yes.
Being a young business owner and seeing people sharing my story and embracing it, I'm so grateful. Like, I'm so grateful that people have accepted me.
Yes.
And because I know I'm changing lives out here, and that's all that matters. So my business, I hope it can grow to be a world standard business.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's what you want it to be?
Yes.
Power of visualization and manifestation. We'll get there.
I want every person, every celeb, every famous, if they come to Kenya, they want suit, African wear, or any casual tailored outfit, they know to go to Star. So I want to be that brand in Kenya, because in outside the world, we have all these big brands, but Kenya, we don't. So I hope I can be that big.
Amen. All the best.
Thank you.
All the best. Guys, I hate that this interview is coming to an end, but before I let you go, where can people find you?
You can find me in social media.
Yes.
You can find me in my Facebook is Brightstar Kasyoka.
Okay.
All social media is actually Brightstar Kasyoka. And then you can find the business page Star Tailor Designs. You can follow. But when you go through my Facebook or my Instagram, Brightstar Kasyoka, you can see I've tagged them there. So that's my contact, Brightstar Kasyoka.
Okay. Phone number.
My phone number for business. Please don't call me asking me to marry you, because every time I give out my phone number, I have so many people calling me, can I marry you? Please call me for business purposes only. It's 0769 8 55 55 9.
Okay.
0769 8 55 55 9.
Majina
business purpose only.
Majina M-Pesa italeta aje?
Brightstar Kasyoka.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you want to close this show for me today? Just say anything. Do anything. Do anything. Give us an outro today for the show. There you go.
For everyone who's watched this show, we just want to tell you thank you for tuning in. Watch Tuko. They have amazing stories and amazing content, and you'll be inspired and your life will be changed just like mine has. I read a lot of your articles, by the way, and watch a lot of your videos.
Yes.
So please watch Tuko and follow Tuko across all social media platforms.
Yes.
Thank you so much and have an amazing time. Okay, they got me off
I got you off guard, but thank you so much for even accepting an invitation to the interview. Good people, that's it today for Inspire Kenya, and I hope you guys, you've been super inspired, because I have been. It's never too late or too early for you to start chasing your dream. You know, the satisfaction that comes with you chasing your dream, and you knowing that no matter what happens, you can still pull through. If you have another person with an inspiring story and you want me to feature them, yes, mommy.
And before Lynn closes this, if I ever publish a book, she challenged me today, so we can look back at this episode and say Lynn told me to publish a book.
Go publish your book. Go publish your book. The sky is not even the limit
So
for
you
you.
can go on. Sorry, I disturbed you.
Sorry. Lynn here says I can go on. So if you have someone with an inspirational story and you want me to feature them on this segment, feel free to nominate them or even send a well-detailed brief of their story. My email is on the screen and I'll be featuring them on this segment of Inspire Kenya. Legendary director Edwin Ochieng, thank you so much for everything that you do. Really appreciate you. And to our amazing editor Yukabeth Mukami, who is also my co-producer, for compiling this episode, making sure it gets to you right on time. Tufunge sasa.
Yes.
Image.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.